I'm Jinx here for Xbox Australia, and I'm at E3. I'm talking to John, who is the content director at Turn 10 on the newly announced Forza 3, and we're going to talk cars. So, are you a car enthusiast yourself?
Absolutely. Most of the guys on the team are. I come from a racing background personally myself. I've road raced motorcycles as well as cars here in the States, and a big fan of motorsports and cars in general.
Any close calls?
Yeah, I've got some broken bones and a lot of stories and scars and stuff like that. We all do. There's two kind of racers, those who have crashed and those who are going to crash.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever try real racing. Even trying to play it in video games, I spend most of my time against a guardrail. But the nice thing about these video games is that you do get to feel like you have that racing experience and you're on the road and you're going really fast. But what is it about Forza that makes it so special that way?
Well, it's a very immersive experience. We create a virtual reality where people get in and it feels like you're racing. I catch myself, especially when you get the triple screen and the wheel and you get the full surround sound, the sound's real, it looks real, it drives real. Suddenly you suspend disbelief and it is real, and I'll catch myself, I'm really concentrating. You don't want to crash and the damage, and my palms are sweaty and you get really tense, and I start getting some of the same emotions and feelings that I get racing for real. I mean, obviously you can't die playing a video game, or not very easily at least, but still you get a lot of that tension. You're invested in it, and the immersion of speed and danger, it's pretty cool.
I don't know about you, but I sometimes get so into it that I start doing like this with the controller, hoping it'll make me turn a little bit better because I'm just trying to jerk the wheel around that little bit harder. Do you ever get that?
Well, I don't, because racers are trained to keep their eyes level. When you turn, if you keep your eyes level, you corner better. You don't want to be tilting your head because it kind of throws off your gyros. But if you watch guys playing games, they'll use body English and they're pushing, come out, and they're doing like everything to try to get it just right, whether it's with a wheel or a controller. We've had guys here playing at the booth, and they get so into it, they're sawing at the wheel. One guy ripped the gear shift off. I mean, they get really into it. It's cool. Yeah,
well, I fully admit to being an amateur. But with Forza 3, I know Forza 2 was really very, very true to the kind of the simulation experience. It was very, very realistic that way. Is Forza 3 going to follow that?
Well, at the heart of Forza has always been a great simulation engine. We want to get that just right so the cars drive just real. But what we found it was intimidating and challenging to a larger group of players that we wanted to be able to experience Forza as well. Forza is all about cars. Everybody loves cars. Our inspiration is a 6-year-old boy with a poster of a Lamborghini on his wall that loves cars, or his 60-year-old grandfather who turns wrenches on his muscle car Camaro. He loves cars, but he may not be the most dexterous racer ready to come in and drive a full simulation, but they should be able to come into a game like ours and have fun. So we've created a lot of new assists. We've always had the green line that you've seen from other series of Forzas, copied by every other racing game now. We've introduced new things like one-button driving. It's called auto brake. You basically just hold down the trigger, gas, just steer. You don't have to brake or gas. You just steer, follow the green line. It allows people, there's still a deep physics simulation underneath of it, but with these assists on top, even kids, we've been testing this on 6-year-olds and 60-year-olds, they come in and they start having fun right away. And even if they do make a mistake, we have a new feature called rewind or backup right now, where if you make a mistake in a corner, you hit the back button, it backs up 5 seconds. You could go back 5, 10, 20 seconds, whatever, till you get it right. Back up before you messed up. Go again, get it right. It just makes for a lot of fun. And even if you do end up crashing your car, now our cars, along with damage, can roll over. So the crashes are spectacular. So sometimes we even back up, use the rewind feature to get a better crash because it's just so much fun.
So it sounds like you've definitely made the game more accessible to those who may not have a lot of experience with racing games. But what about the enthusiasts who loved Forza like before? What do you have for them?
Well, that's our core. We always serve the core with Forza. We've improved the physics simulation this time around. We're doing things that no other games are doing. We've introduced tire flex this time in Forza. We've always done things like tire heat and modeled all kind of things in our physics. But if you've noticed, a car, when it corners, the rubber actually deforms and will bend under load. We simulate that now, and you can see it visually in the game. When you see a car go around a corner, the tire wall will deflex and form sideways, create the slip angle of the tire, which is a bunch of physics geek terms, but what it means is the people who are into it really get it. The ones who aren't just know that it feels right. When you play a lot of other racing games, if their tire physics aren't right, something just doesn't feel right. It doesn't behave right. Our tire physics are more advanced beyond what anybody's doing in the industry, which is why our cars just feel right.
And I know that Forza 3 is set to be the definitive driving game for this generation of consoles. Besides physics like with the tire deformation, what sets it apart?
Well, we've made huge improvements to our graphics this time around. Graphics is an area where we've struggled a little bit. We've always been at 60 frames a second on this generation. We're still at 60 frames a second, but everything just looks that much better. This is our second time shipping on the Xbox 360. The cars, the environments, our cars have 10 times more polygons than they had in Forza Motorsport 2. 4 times the texture resolution. What that means is they've got a crazy amount of detail in the car. You're going to see every little detail. The Audi R8 here that we had at the show floor, you'll see the 24 little LED lights in the headlight that represent Audi's connection with Le Mans, the 24 hours of Le Mans. Little tread blocks modeled in the tire, lug nuts, every little detail in the car that people can geek out over. The tracks now, incredibly long draw distances. We've got new fictional environments with normal maps and just cool things to look at and immerse the player. So I think the graphics is one of the big things, and that appeals to everybody, hardcore, casual alike. The game is just beautiful.
And one of the things I heard about that I really liked for myself was the idea of customizing the cars and creating skins and like taking them into a shop and getting them painted up all custom. How does that work?
Well, similar to Forza 2, we saw crazy stuff come out of our community after Forza 2. People were painting things on cars that we didn't believe. We thought maybe they hacked our game and somehow got pictures into the livery editor or something, but no, they were built with layers and liveries. We were just amazed. So we were like, we need to embrace this. We need to go bigger with this. People are doing incredible stuff. So we're empowering these creators to do more. We're adding new things on live like scoreboards now, not just for hot lapping, but there'll be scoreboards for painters, for photographers, for photo mode. We have a new feature where you can upload high-def videos now as well, and those will be rated on a scoreboard. With user-generated content, the myth sometimes is that if you make a good enough editor, everybody will become great creators. That's not our goal. Think about it like YouTube. There's a lot of people that consume video on YouTube, but not very many people post to it. And I could give you the best camera in the world. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be able to make the best videos on YouTube that people are going to want to see. So we give powerful editors that empower a small percentage of very highly creative individuals, and we have new features to help the rest of us consume that great content, rate it, score it, be able to see it just like on YouTube as well. So these guys will become famous in our community, these creators, and the rest of us get to enjoy all the cool stuff that they generate.
Is there anything else that we really need to know about this game?
We're blowing out the content as well. We've got over 400 cars this time. We've added cockpits, the interiors of the car to all 400 cars. It's a huge investment, but our users and players have wanted it for a long time. We finally said, this is the time. We're going to step up and give you guys what you want. We've got rollover now, so we've modeled the undersides of cars. We've got over 100 tracks in the game. The game is huge. It's a huge, epic game. No game this generation can come close to the game that we're providing. It is the definitive racing game of this generation.
All right, well, thanks. I look forward to seeing you on the road.